The following program is brought to you by Bizarre Productions.
Are you ready for this?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to an all-new episode of the Totally Necessary Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Porter. What's going on? Good morning to all of you. If you're listening to this real time, as this is getting released, man, did I have quite the last 48 hours just to get to this point here where we're talking to you this morning. Damn, dude, am I not tired? Am I tired? I am very tired. I am very tired, dude. So as I left you on Friday, I traveled to Portland for the Punk in Drublic Festival Portland at Portland Meadows. It's a big giant horse racing track. So I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, oh, it's gonna be an outdoor festival, right? It's gonna be an outdoor festival, right? So I get there and it's an outdoor festival, but it's 83 degrees and it's not a cloud in the sky at this point, and we're in a field with no shade. And I soon realized this once we get into this venue, and I'm like, fuck, this is going to fucking suck. There's not going to be any fucking refuge from the sun. It's like, thankfully I brought sunscreen lotion, so I was a little smart on that end. But for the first few hours of being there, I proceeded to cook. Like, luckily, I was able to stay on top of the sun lotion. And really, the only part that I got really sunburned was kind of like my neck, because I was wearing like an NBA jersey. So kind of like my lower part of my neck, which is kind of weird because I thought like I got that spot. But if I'm wearing a t-shirt, like, you really can't notice it. But so I guess in that sense, it's not too bad. The clouds kind of rolled in. It cooled down. It wasn't that bad. But I gotta tell you, man, going to that show, though, dude, like, you know, we'll get into the professional wrestling here momentarily, but just, you know, seeing those bands, like, I've seen all those bands before. It was cool seeing MXPX. Like, I hadn't seen MXPX in quite some time. Anti-Flag, same. You know, I don't know, like, I still enjoy an Anti-Flag show. I'll still listen to an Anti-Flag song. But for the most part, it's like, is Anti-Flag like really my favorite band anymore? I mean, maybe like 5 years ago they were. But right now, no, definitely not. But I mean, again, you know, I don't know. I just had trouble enjoying it because at that point it was still fucking hot out. And it's just like, I was kind of getting pissed off about it. I was just like, this is fucking bullshit. It's like, you're going to have all these, because it's a beer festival, right? Albeit I wasn't drinking, but it doesn't take a fucking moron to figure out, okay, yeah, you got a bunch of fucking idiots drinking in the fucking, in the sun, copious amounts of beer, alcohol. Yeah, they're charging you $4 for water. It's not like you have like a little spot to like fill up your water bottles at and make sure you stay fucking hydrated. No. You have to pay money to stay hydrated in this venue. And that sucked right there. So I was like, you know, albeit, you know, that little, you know, part made me pretty annoyed in the sense that there was no shade, there was no refuge. But I just kind of, you know, watched a lot of drunk people that day. There was a lot of drunk people, and it was pretty fun. Like, as a sober person well, actually, I wasn't sober. I smoked so much fucking weed. It was ridiculous, dude. Like, we smoked so much fucking weed driving down there, and then, like, look, I didn't drive, so, you know, I was with my friend Ray, you know, so, like, as soon as I get to his house, he's like, oh, you want a dab? You want a dab hit? And I was like, I don't normally do that, but I was like, yeah, I'll take a dab hit, sure. And I was like, whew, taking to the fucking loony bin and shit. But I'm fucking stoned as shit, and I'm just watching all these drunk people throughout the day, and it was interesting. Like, I like that. I do enjoy going, like, I don't like having to deal with drunk people, but I don't mind sitting at a bar, or I don't mind sitting at a venue like that, and watching everybody just get, you know, shit-faced drunk, and then go, like, I didn't go to the mosh pit this time for some reason. I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. So, you know, that being said, we saw some naked dude running around the venue, getting chased by security. That was interesting. I've been to going to punk rock shows for 18 fucking years. You would think that would be the one thing that I would have seen, right? Well, a naked guy at a punk rock show. No, actually, I've never seen that. So that was pretty interesting. Saw some dude get his face blasted coming out of the mosh pit, dude. His face was just all bloodied up, and I was like, damn. Some people got fucked up in that mosh pit, and I'm kind of glad that I did not go into that mosh pit. As always, no effects fucking killed it. It was probably like the cleanest I'd seen them actually, like in terms of just of a performance. You know, it's their like one of their first shows back in the United States after being banned from that whole Las Vegas controversy. So it's good to see them. I was really happy. Bad Religion kicked ass. Like all the bands kicked ass, dude. Like, you saw NoFX perform The Decline with a full orchestra. That was pretty interesting. So all in all, I mean, it was worth the trip. But I mean, like, by the time we got out there, it was like 10 o'clock. Fuck, dude. I didn't get home till like 4. What the fuck? It's like a 3-hour drive back. So, I mean, we ended up getting some food afterwards. And then from there, we're in Portland. So it's like, let's get some Voodoo Donuts. And it's like, I surprised the kids that morning. I got home at like 4, barely slept on the car ride back. Got home relatively quick in terms of like hardcore power napping or whatever I was doing, but still that drive back from Ray's house to my house, which is an added 45-minute drive, I was pretty tired, man. I had to eat one of those donuts and drink a soda just to like keep my keep my levels up and stuff. So get a little bit of energy in me. But yeah, then I ended up getting home at like 4:30 in the morning. I basically stayed in bed like all fucking day Saturday, dude. Got up at 11 for a little bit. Drank like 1 cup of coffee, and I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm going back to bed. I had nothing to do until the evening, so it's just like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and stay in bed like all day Saturday. So I finally got up out of bed at like, I don't know, like 5:30. And yeah, we proceeded to just take care of business around here, which is garlic season right now. We're still fucking pulling garlic. Oh man, that's actually how I started watching the AEW Fight for the Fallen last night. Like we were out there until like 10 o'clock doing this shit, and like which is pretty cool because in our back of our garage we have this like work area set up there, and we got like the LED lights out there, so we can actually stay up late working and doing what we need to do. So it's actually kind of cool. But so I was able to, I took my TV out there, and I was able to just hook up my cell phone up to the TV, and we were able to watch the first, hour of AEW Fight for the Fallen, because I didn't watch it live, and that's why you're getting this review, the post show, at 8. Well, I'm recording this at 8:30 in the morning. So, but no, dude, like, so we get done. I'm watching the show. It's like midnight by this point. I didn't get done watching this show until 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. And you're like, wow, Kevin, you got to get up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, well, I got to get this shit done, and I got other shit I got to do today. So we got to pull more fucking garlic, motherfuckers. Shit's not going to pull itself, So, hey, if you want to buy some garlic, hit me up, dude. I don't know. Initial thoughts coming out of this show. Do I think this was better than either of the 2 previous shows that were presented here in the last couple weeks? No, I don't necessarily think it was. Am I gonna fanboy the shit out of this show? No, I don't think so. I definitely want to call the good. I want to say what was good, and I definitely want to say what was bad. I really think I need to like start operating on a note system and start taking some notes instead of like having just a reaction. Even though a reaction to the show isn't necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, it is nice to be somewhat structured in regards to where my feelings were live as the show was going on. But let's just go ahead and go through the card here. It seemed like every single match got time. Definitely, I mean, towards the end, obviously they were rushed. And I think that's probably why we saw at the end the way we did, because maybe everything they were a little too liberal on the amount of time each fucking match got. Fuck, dude, it looks like the out of all the shows on the pre-show, because there was 2 pre-show matches here, it looks like. So the shortest match was the Sunny Kiss versus the Librarian Peter Avalon. That match went 5 minutes and 10 seconds. I have nothing to say about that because I didn't watch the pre-show, so I'm not even gonna begin to touch that match. But yeah, that match only went 5:10. We saw Bree Priestley and Shoko Nakajima take on Britt Baker and Rio in tag team match here. This match went 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Wow. I wonder how the quality, I would imagine it was pretty good. As we saw later on in the show, as we got to the second match, I think the quality of the women's match was called into question here in regards to that situation, in regards to the performance there. So we saw our first match of the night, I thought was really fucking good. Okay, so we saw MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Shawn Spears take on Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela. This match went 13 minutes, 15 seconds. I thought everybody was able to shine here, and obviously, given the length of the match here, it gave everybody enough time to get their shit in. I thought the crowd was pretty decent for this. I guess Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela would be your faces here. Shawn Spears was kind of the universal heel, I guess. But nonetheless, though, everybody shined. Everybody got their spots in. The crowd was behind it. So it was a good opener. Ultimately, Shawn Spears pinned Darby Allin. It's going to be interesting moving months forward, and all 6 of these men here and where they're featured into the AEW fold. Obviously, not every single person is going to be a top tier guy. But with that being said, I think all 6 of these guys are going to be developed into, projects in regards to the next several years. It just, maybe not Shawn Spears because that guy is a little bit older and it seems like he is destined for a feud with Cody here, most likely at All Out, which we didn't see anything, or was it All Out? Yeah. Which we didn't see anything. I don't believe we saw anything teased between him and Cody. I don't know if that was something planned that was after the match. That should have, I don't know. I guess not, considering the way they went off the air. But yeah, I guess we'll see more on their road to All Out. I would assume that it's going to be built up here in the next couple weeks on YouTube. But nonetheless, though, definitely a solid opener. And, if I was going to advise you to go out of your way for any of the matches, I would actually say, yeah, this was a fun match. Like, I thought this was a really fun match. So, decent opener from AEW here. We go into our second match here, which is Brandy Rose taking on Allie. This match went 11 minutes now. They kind of like ran the whole the promo videos that they've done here recently with Brandy talking about how she has like anxiety basically, and that she has these demons that she can't like step up and overcome, and how she's like, she's scared but she's not scared. I don't know, dude. But then like, so we get this like babyface videos between, somewhat semi-heel videos from Allie in a sense, but she's basically just saying like, hey man, I have the same fucking issues that you do, Brandy, but I'm not a little bitch and I fucking overcome my shit. Not saying that, Brandy's a little bitch or anything, but you get the idea, she's able to overcome her issues and is able to step up and become the best that she can be for delivering on the big stage. So again, we see the entrances, which just to kind of comment, I really enjoyed the whole amphitheater setup. It to me is like half the fun is seeing the live arena. And it's kind of I don't know, that's it. It's been taken away from us in a sense from WWE because it's just so cookie cutter in regards to the entrances. It's always the same. It's always the same entrance. So it's cool to be able to see something different. And this was the setup here at Fight for the Fallen was definitely something different, and I definitely enjoyed it. Getting back though, so we see the handshake. Brandy holds onto Allie's hand just for a little bit longer, and then all of a sudden, Awesome Kong's music hits. And Awesome Kong is in Brandy Rhodes' corner. Damn, dude. So I'm definitely not going to shit on it. I kind of because initially you're like, well, what the fuck was the point of all the promo and everything? But like as you're sitting there watching this match for 11 minutes, like I don't know if this match needed 11 minutes. But you kind of start putting it together. It's like, okay, well, if Brandy's, she's so down on herself, well, instead of just, because again, she's, I'm glad that she's the bad guy. I think she plays a good bad guy. So what's a bad guy going to do? They're going to cheat. They're going to shortchange themselves in a sense, so it's like, in this sense, she's shortchanging herself instead of, being all that she could be and taking it to Allie and really stepping up. She's taking the easy way out and having Awesome Kong because she wants Awesome Kong in her corner. So that way she has help and she has the ability to win the big one, even though she may not be able to do it on her own. So with that being said, I thought the quality of this match was pretty fucking poor. Brandy Rhodes is green as fuck, and and again, it's not taking anything away because obviously, experience. You need the experience in the ring. You need to get better, and she's going to get better. But this match particularly, I didn't necessarily. I thought this was probably like the weakest match of the whole show. Pretty standard match. Somebody's on the outside. You get the interference. They interfere, cause the distraction. So ultimately, Brandy Rhodes picks up the win over Allie. So we see, I believe there was a bit of a beatdown afterwards. So, and then all of a sudden, Aja Kong, I believe was her name, shows up, which we saw her at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So we see her face off, go face to face with Awesome Kong, which Aja Kong and Awesome Kong, is that the same name? I don't know. Pretty fucking close, but they go face to face, and I think that's being teased now for the All Out pay-per-view here in Chicago within the next month. I was watching it, dude. I was like, yeah, take my money now, dude. Like, I want to see this match. Like, I want to see these two behemoths clash inside the AEW ring here. So I thought, again, the quality of the match between Brandy and Rhodes' Alley left a lot to be desired. But the face-off between Awesome Kong and Aja Kong at the end made the 11 minutes well worth it in regards to this segment here. So our next match was the Dark Order taking on Angelico and Jack Evans, and a boy and his dinosaur, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, featuring Marco Stunt. Fucking a boy and his dinosaur, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are fucking over. Like, dude, those guys got like some of the biggest pops of the night came for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, dude. I was really hoping that they were gonna win here. So this match was ultimately to advance to the All Out for an opportunity at the first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Championship tournament. So ultimately, they're going to be facing Best Friends. Best Friends is going to be the taking on the winner of this match here. Much like the opener, I thought this was a really good match. Again, they had 15 minutes, 15 seconds to get over, dude. I get why the Dark Order won, but man, I really wanted Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to win, dude. I really thought that, hey man, this crowd is way behind them. The crowd has been behind them. I think it's just a natural, it just naturally works. And you would think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, is that going to be something that's going to work in 2019? Automatically, I think, just like the Librarians, I think people would initially shit on it, but it's kind of the complete opposite. I don't know if it's just because Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son, people know that, and it's like, and I don't want to say it's because of that, because his dad's dead, just died recently or something. I think the dude's probably got talent. I mean, he's obviously there for a reason, and then Luchasaurus is just a fucking badass, dude. I fell in love with him, dude. When we saw him in that Rumble here a couple months ago, dude, like I don't know, man. I first initially see Luchasaurus and you think this is like a damn lame fucking gimmick, but then when you watch it more and it's like, it's actually, the guy's got something. I mean, he speaks very well. I mean, that adds to it when they do the whole being the elite show. And Jungle Boy doesn't talk, so I mean, Luchasaurus is your mouthpiece. I mean, that's cool. And then they had Marco Stunt. It's like, I don't really get Marco Stunt. Like what the fuck is this kid? Like, he comes out, he gets involved. He gets ejected ultimately. I didn't really get him being there and being with him. And honestly, I don't need any more Marco Stunt. I know they need to find a place for this guy considering he's signed to their fucking roster. But do I need to see Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus? I think it kind of takes away from it. Honestly, I don't really get Marco Stunt, dude. Like, okay, like what are you, like fucking 20? Like you're a extremely short guy and you're popping off fucking Frankensteiners off and Helico, I think is who I think it was Jack Evans he hit. I'm still getting those two dudes down as well. I'm not very well versed in Angelico and Jack Evans, but the more I see him and it's like, am I really a big fan of Angelico and Jack Evans at this point? Not really. But did I enjoy seeing them in this match? They added to it, I suppose. The Dark Order, though, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, ultimately they pick up the win here, but those guys are, Evil Uno, dude. Like, that guy reminds me, I don't know if you guys remember seeing, it was a James Franco movie, Your Highness? Yeah, Your Highness, I believe. It's one with, what's his name? I'm so fucking tired this morning. I can't even fucking Eastbound and Down, dude. I can't even remember that fucking dude's name. It's fucking stupid. It's like Eastbound and Down. You guys are like screaming it at me. It's Danny McBride, motherfucker. Danny McBride and Joe Franco. So if you remember the scene where they get caught and they finally meet Natalie Portman, there's that fat guy surrounded by all those chicks and stuff. And I look at that. Sorry, it's like got a text message. I'm like, who's texting this phone? Like, this is my house phone. Getting text messages. Overdose. Sweeter than wine. Somebody's like sending me music. Should we listen to this? Should we listen to it?
This one's for you. I hope you see it through. Just watch what I do. Please enjoy the view. Okay, baby. Can I call you baby? But don't call me crazy. You got my mental weight.
What the fuck am I getting text messages like that? Who the fuck is that? I don't even have that number in my phone. But you just got a free plug on a podcast, so you're doing something right, guys. Send that shit to the wrong number there. But hey, you got a shout out on the Totally Necessary Wrestling podcast. So yeah, getting back to that, Evil Uno, he reminds me of that fat dude from that. I don't know, it just looks like real gross and stuff, and like I kind of like that. I kind of like the whole Dark Order gimmick. I like the little minion guys or whatever they're calling, creepers or whatever the fuck they were calling them. I'm kind of digging it, you know, so I get why they win here. Again, ultimately, I wish Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus would have picked up the win, but they'll be involved in that tag team tournament. They're not going to win the tag titles. But at the same time, like it was fun. It was a fun three-way though, you know, like for the most part. I mean, it was like, it's not like storyline was really driven for the most part, but I mean, like I thought the action was really good, much like the opener. So yeah, we'll see the Dark Order take on Best Friends in a couple weeks there at All Out. So we saw Hangman Adam Page in action taking on super bad Kip Sabian. This match went 19 minutes and 5 seconds. Now, a lot of these matches, like, did any of these matches really need to go this long? Like, maybe you can argue Adam Page, considering he's going to be in the world title match here next month. But I mean, like, did the three-way tag match need to go 15? You know, no wonder they ran out of fucking time at the end of this shit, dude. So this one almost went the time limit draw. I thought this was a pretty good match. It built up pretty nicely. Adam Page isn't, you know, he's kind of got that old school feel to him, it feels like, you know, like felt like the match kind of built up properly. So I think all these matches for the most part delivered. This one being included. I'm trying to think of anything special really I thought out of this match. I liked kind of how they played up the knee injury from Adam Page. Kip Sabian, I'm not to say that I'm not a fan of his, but you know, I'm definitely interested to see more out of the guy. I mean, I don't think he was, you know, it's just fucking just some general, like, I don't really know the guy. I don't really know his purpose. So, I mean, again, this will all be further established, I suppose, when they have actual TV here in the next couple of months here. But, you know, not surprisingly, Adam Page picks up the win here. Again, almost going the time limit draw, in albeit a serviceable match, I thought. So we saw a tag team match here. Lucha Bros taking on SoCal Uncensored, which was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. I thought this match was riddled with some fuck-ups. I had high hopes for this match. I really thought this could be match of the night. And this match went 15-10. And ultimately, I thought it was a fun match here, but you could just tell that, you know, I think this was like the first time that Lucha Bros and SoCal Uncensored were in the ring together. I think this was advertised as that. So you could definitely tell it was a feeling out process here. We saw Christopher Daniels get involved. He ultimately gets ejected. Shit, you know, and not much really to say. I guess, you know, we're ultimately setting up afterwards, you know, after Lucha Bros were able to defeat SoCal Uncensored. We saw Christopher Daniels come back with a ladder. Lucha Bros make quick work of him. So ultimately, we're seeing the Lucha Bros challenge the Young Bucks to a tag team ladder match, which I assume is for the AAA World Tag Team Championships, considering that we do not have an established AEW Tag Team Champions as of yet. But with that being said, we're going to see a ladder match at All Out between the Lucha Bros and Young Bucks most likely, and I think that's like, yeah, take my money right now. I think that's like going to be, if it's anything like their Double or Nothing match, dude, we're in for a fucking treat come All Out. SoCal Uncensored yet to actually pick up a win, which apparently, wins and losses do matter in AEW. So, I think, they'll get built up a little bit harder going into this tag team tournament. I don't know if they're going to win the AEW tag team champions, ships first time out, but fucking SoCal Uncensored, man, they're like some of one of my favorite tandems within professional wrestling here. So, ultimately, again, not necessarily the match I was hoping for, but at that same time, like next time these guys get in the ring, I definitely expect a fucking barn burner of an event. So our next match was Kenny Omega taking on CIMA in a singles match. Now this match went 22 minutes and 30 seconds. I thought this was match of the night. Okay, and I'll get to the Young Bucks and the Brotherhood here momentarily, but Kenny Omega is quite possibly the best professional wrestler going today in all of wrestling, and I don't know shit about CIMA. I'm pretty sure I've said that before on these these AEW post shows. Like, I don't know shit about this guy, but these two worked fucking damn well. And Kenny Omega, even though he may not be in the G1 tournament this year, definitely went out and proved that he is that guy still. He is the guy. And, it's kind of funny because they were like all talking about how like Kenny Omega still needs to pick up his very first singles win in AEW, which he accomplished here by defeating CIMA. But I thought, honestly, in my opinion, though, like I thought this match built up really fucking well. It seemed like they meshed pretty good. I didn't really notice too many fuck ups or anything. They took some pretty decent spots. You knew somebody was gonna get on that stage area, the amphitheater stage, and do something. So him doing that little, I think it was kind of like a trust fall type thing onto Kenny Omega or whatever, onto that ring bell. Like that looked like it hurt, dude. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think this is definitely something you should go out of your way and check out. I mean, especially if you don't know shit about CIMA, I think this is definitely a coming out party for him in that sense. But with that being said, though, Kenny Omega gets the win, and he will be facing Jon Moxley at All Out in, I believe, a fucking straight up brawl it's going to be, dude. I don't know if this one's going to be sanctioned or not. I would assume it's going to, but I'm definitely looking forward to that Moxley Omega match, dude. I think that's, that and Lucha Bros and Young Bucks in a fucking ladder match. Like, again, take my money, AEW. Like, I'm looking forward to that like a motherfucker. So our main event was the Young Bucks taking on the Brotherhood. This match went 31 minutes and 25 seconds. This had, I believe, an hour time limit. Now, this is kind of where I get to, like, I don't know necessarily if this was the match of the night. Like I said, I finished this pay-per-view at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, so I kind of rested my eyes listening to the majority of this match here. It seemed like a really good match. I mean, they went back and forth, dude. Ultimately, the Young Bucks defeated the Brotherhood. They beat the Cody and Dustin, which I'm not necessarily surprised by. You would expect that the Young Bucks are going to pick up the win here. I don't know how much longer Cody or Dustin Rhodes is going to be wrestling. I don't know if that was it. I definitely feel like I should go back and rewatch this match a little bit. But afterwards, we get to where they're giving each other their promo, and then all of a sudden, Kenny Omega's music goes, and I think like Matt was like all like, "Oh, I guess we're running low on time," because they came out and they did the whole schmoz of doing the donation to the charity that they were giving for this Fight for the Fallen, since everything was going towards charity, which is an admirable fucking thing for them as a company, especially a brand new company, for the charity for gun violence, victims of gun violence, which is good. I mean, great for them, dude. I'm glad that they're able to, pull that off and give out $150,000. I mean, that's not a small check, dude, by any means. It's kind of cool how they had Tony Khan's father out there. I mean, the dude's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's the one out there presenting the check and whatnot. Ultimately, we had, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Kenny Omega. Everybody comes out. They kind of do the same, ending to, what they had done it all in and, previously where fucking Cody Rhodes just, straight up takes a shot at WWE. He's like, hey, you can't counter-program this, basically taking a shot at the whole Evolve show that went head-to-head against AEW, which I watched a small portion of that prior to watching AEW Fight for the Fallen last night. As the replay was being processed on the BR app, I was, I went over and just watched, I watched the first couple of matches, and it seemed like it was a good show. I'm definitely not well versed in Evolve. I know of Evolve, but have I ever actually watched an Evolve show? Can't say that I have, can't say that I have. But with that being said, though, I'm really enjoying the war going on right now, guys. I'm enjoying WWE throwing up counter programming to AEW. It's making everything feel that much more special, and it's making me feel like like we are truly entering into a golden age of professional wrestling, though. So, with that being said, guys, that's our post show for AEW Fighter Fest. All in all, I thought it was a fun show. Like, I enjoyed it. Again, outside of like the Brandy Rhodes Alley match. And maybe the show, each match having a little bit way too much fucking time given to it. But I really enjoyed the setup. I thought the amphitheater looked really cool. Apparently it was really fucking hot there, 85 degrees at night, which is Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, like, what do you expect? You're in fucking Florida. All that fucking humidity and shit. But all in all, again, like I said, like I thought Kenny Omega and CIMA was the match of the night. Again, I kind of fell asleep for the main event. I thought about rewatching it before recording here, but I was like, I got a lot of shit I got to get done today, so it's like I don't have half an hour to spend fucking sitting there watching that match. But maybe I'll get around to it, and maybe one day I'll be like, hey, you know that Fight for the Fallen show? No, the Young Bucks Brotherhood match, that was way better. That was the match of the night. But no, for me personally, it was Kenny Omega and CIMA. Looking forward to All Out, guys. That'll be our next AEW post show that we will be bringing you guys. And then, obviously once they start TV in October, it's really gonna just wrestling's gonna change in terms of how it's shown every week, because you're gonna have SmackDown on Fridays, AEW most likely on Wednesdays, Raw on Mondays, NXT on Wednesdays. We're gonna figure out exactly how we're going to cover this show and exactly when this show will be dropping. I kind of have a working idea of how we're going to do things moving forward, but we'll definitely have to wait and see here soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we got coming up this week? I'm going to be back later this evening with the Extreme Rules post show. Hopefully I don't fall asleep during the main event. I'm going to try to watch this one live, which again, I have shit going on. So I have a feeling it's going to be a late fucking night again, dude. It's like my whole fucking sleeping pattern's been so fucked lately, dude. I've been not getting enough sleep during the work weeks, and it's just like the weekends. This weekend was totally fucked. Oh man, I got shit going on next weekend, dude. So, oh no, I just gotta find the time, dude. We just gotta find the time, get shit done. But yeah, we got new episodes coming out this week, dude. We got new episodes of the In the Mouth of Madness podcast dropping this week. We got new episodes of the Totally Necessary Wrestling podcast, and as always, we have new episodes of the podcast that no one listens to. But all right, guys, I'm Kevin Porter. Whoa. Are we done yet? No, I don't think so. I totally fucking spaced it, man. And that's my fault. It's totally my fault. I'm adding this at the very fucking end. Chris Jericho showed up on this show, and I know I didn't talk about his this on the preview either, that Chris Jericho was going to be there with a live mic. But yeah, so we saw Chris Jericho get involved in the Hangman Adam Page match. At the very end, he comes out, which, they're all like, oh, he's one of the creepers. Like, it was clearly obvious it was fucking Jericho. So fuck you, stupid ass announce team for fucking trying to pull that one on us. Which, by the way, was the announcing that great? Alex Marvez is still garbage. Jim Ross kind of jumps all over the place. The dude with the mask, which I'm honestly El Generico, which it's not fucking Sami Zayn. Gosh, man, I'm trying to fucking Excalibur, motherfuckers. Excalibur. Shit. So nonetheless, so Jericho comes out. He laid a fucking that Judas effect into Hangman Adam Page's fucking face, dude, and really knocked him hard, dude. So that was pretty intense. Jericho comes out later and cuts his promo, which I gotta say, dude, my wife was like, I was like, oh, hey, that's Chris Jericho. She's like, that's Chris Jericho? I'm like, yeah, that's Chris Jericho. She's like, oh, he got fat. He got ugly. And I'm like, damn, dude, gotta be so harsh towards Chris Jericho. He's just a guy. He's just a professional wrestler. Dude's like 50, man. He's like, of course he's gonna put on some weight. But yeah, so my impressions of him being on the show, it's good. I'm glad that he was on there. I mean, he needs to be on there. His promo was decent. Ultimately, they had a breakdown with Paige and Jericho at the end there. So with all that being said, I thought that was pretty good. It was pretty good. I like the pull aparts and stuff. So I really enjoyed that at the end. And then that fucking Judas effect to the Paige's eye, dude. Damn, dude. Got a little snug on there, Jericho. Got a little fucking snug, but it kind of added to it, though. So I don't know if that was planned or not. I doubt that was fucking planned. I think they just kind of rolled with it. I know they don't have scripts. the whole blood thing that he was talking about was like, I'm pretty sure that was pretty mapped out there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, again, that's it. That truly is the end of this episode. I just had to jump back in there and get at least some thoughts in there. I felt like it'd be criminal if I didn't comment anything on Chris Jericho the last 2 episodes, considering he was advertised for the show and he was on the show twice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so until next time, I will see you. Peace.